That looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, does that look like proper restaurant quality Beijing beef? It does to me. Oh yeah. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing Beijing beef. However, if you ordered Beijing beef in Beijing, I'm sure you're going to get a funny look. It doesn't exist. It's American. It's an American dish. It's absolutely fabulous actually. And Panda Express put it on their menu. Anyway, come on, let's do it. Beijing beef. In here I have some sirloin and I've just cut it across in strips, okay? Now you can use flank steak, anything like that, it doesn't matter, but that's what you want to be doing, cutting it across into strips. Now we want to be making a quick marinade for this actually. It wants to marinate for about 30 minutes. Gives us time to prep everything else and crack on. So we want to grab some soy sauce. We want about a tablespoon. Now all the ingredients are in the description as usual. Click on them more, it all drops down and there you go. A little bit of water in there. Baking soda. What, a little bit of baking soda. Now here's a secret little tip for you. Beef powder, gravy granules, OXO or anything like that, beef powder. Now we're going to give this a mix up, get that in there. Leave that to marinate away. Just wash my hand. What a little bowl. Want to be able to coat our beef in our seasoning. We've got flour, corn flour, and we got rice flour. All in there. Look at that. And what we're going to do is add some white pepper. Mix it all in. Now veggies are very simple for this recipe. We've got a capsicum, red bell pepper, an onion and some garlic. There you go. Right, let's get in on this pepper. Now for this recipe it's all chunky. So that's absolutely fabulous. So it's a chunky job. It's just a case of that will do. In there. Now they can all go in the same bowl. Onion. Same chunky in there. That is it. Simple as that. Okay, you can use fresh garlic and fresh ginger, mince it up. I've got garlic ginger paste, that's what I will be using. In the recipe it'll say garlic and ginger. Okay, we want to be making up a sauce in there. Oyster sauce. A little bit of water. A little bit of light soy sauce. Hoisin sauce out of a jar. A little bit of brown sugar. Now a little bit of white vinegar or Chinese black vinegar. In there. Want some sriracha. Couple of good tablespoons of sriracha. Ketchup. Good tablespoon and a half of ketchup. Now we're going to give that a mix up and we're going to add some corn flour, cornstarch or potato starch to this. And that will be our thickening for this sauce. So in there, potato starch or corn flour, cornstarch of choice, whatever you want to use, whatever you can get hold of. Mix it in and that's our sauce. Fabulous. Now don't worry if it doesn't all dissolve. If it stays lumpy, it doesn't matter. It's going to cook off. Don't worry about it. You don't have to spend any length of time trying to squash this out. Okay, we're about good to go. What we need to be doing is coating that beef. Now, I'm just going to chuck all that in there, to be honest. We're just going to give it a stir up. Of course we are. Now, I was going to add an egg white to this, which you can do. I don't think it really needs it, you know. It's been marinating away quite nicely in there. We just want this flour on here, you know, and let it stick to the beef. Now if you want to add an egg white, add it to the beef before you do this. Okay, I don't think it needs it, but there you go. It's the choice is yours. Now don't forget, it's already been sat with baking soda on, you know, so we're not trying to tenderize it, we want it to stick, but you know, it's stuck already. Look at that. Come on. Nice and steady, let it stick up there. And we just stick some oil on and we're ready to fry. So in your pan with some oil. Bob a flame on. Now what we're going to do is fry this beef, stick it on a rack, and then we're going to refry it to make it crispy. And then we can fry our veg, our sauce, everything, and put it all together. Oil wants to be about 165. But you know, if you've got a thermometer, that's brilliant. If not, we just want to be heating it up, frying off this beef, taking it out, letting it cool for a couple of minutes, putting it back in and carrying on. Okay, when you think you've got it up to temperature, bob your beef in there. Now you can do it in stages if you want, it's entirely up to you. If we can get it in, we'll get it in. If we can't, we won't. I don't think we're going to get any more in there. Now it's about 3 minutes on this only. Okay, this comes out, we'll carry on, and then we'll put the rest in. So it's really a quick fry in the oil, to be fair. Okay, we've had about 3 minutes, let's get that out of there. On a tray, on a rack. We need to fry off the rest of that. So I'll get the rest in, come on. Okay, we've had a couple of mins on there, let's get that out of there. That's going to rest on there while we heat up the oil. We need to heat this up to about 190 and then we're going to refry that beef. Okay, when you think you've got it to about 190, we want to refry our beef in there. A little bit of crunchiness on here if we can this time. Now for me that is enough. I don't want to go any more than that. I've got some colour on there, I've got some crispy on there, and I've got soft tender beef inside. So what is the point in drying it out? Let's have that out of there and then we'll change for another pan and let's get it cooked off. Very quick recipe this one, especially after you've done this beef. Okay, bring in another pan. This is bordering on ridiculously quick. A little bit of oil in there. Oil of choice, veg oil, peanut oil, anything you want. And we are going to go in there with our garlic ginger. Nice little sizzle whizzle on there, look, whiz it round. 20-36 in there, onion and peppers. This is a ridiculously easy stir fry. A little bit on there. You can soften it if you wish. Try not to get any deep colour on. If you have a little bit of tinge, it doesn't matter. Nah, it's only a 1 to 2 minute job this, you know. Fabulous aroma. In there, your sauce. Now obviously this is going to thicken because of the potato starch or corn starch, whatever you decided to use. And now we're going to thicken it up, but you have to decide, do you want enough sauce to cover your beef? And if so, I would advise putting half the beef in just to cover in the sauce, because that crispy beef is not going to stay crispy in here. So just nice and steady, decide how thick you want to go in there. That is looking thick enough to me. I want to chuck that beef back in there. We're going to cover some up with this and we'll chuck some on afterwards. So we want some covered in that sauce. And then we'll put some on in a second, which will have very little sauce, which will definitely keep it crunchy. I mean, come on, look at that. Panda Express's Beijing beef. How easy is that? In there. Quick stir through, and we're serving up. We don't want too much on here. That looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. There you go. Panda Express Beijing beef. Let's serve it up. Straight on here. Look at this. Now, does that look like proper restaurant quality Beijing beef? It does to me. Oh yeah. Come on, there you go. Let's have some of that on that plate. Let's get dug in here. Oh yeah. Come on, we're in. We're in on this. We're in on this beef. Still got a bit of crunchiness on the outside, but come on, let's get real. There's absolutely no way it's going to be completely crunchy. You've took sauce over it. Oh. Oh. Listen to that crunch. That is absolutely sensational. There you go. If you like what we're doing, share with your friends. Tell them how easy it is to make Beijing beef. Why order from takeaway? Unless you can't cook. But you know, it's simple. If you like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Or we'll catch you in the next video. That is amazing.